Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me adjust this a little bit. I feel like the music is too loud in my ears. I messed around with some stuff in Canva. Super, yeah. Super fun. Okay. I'm just like looking at the sound to try to see if I can like get it at a reasonable thing. I don't know that I'm going to talk a whole lot in this stream because I am planning on working on things, and I also have a cat that is just swirling around me, but we're here. So I have off today, and I figured it seemed like a good time to maybe just suck it up and mend all the things that I've had sitting around. You know? Hi, Lewis. Lewis wants to say hi. Come here. Lewis. Squeak. What's going on, bud? Hi, buddy. Anyway. Okay. Are you gonna sit in my lap good? Okay. Hold on. Let me give you more of a spot. There we go. Yeah, I've just been putting it off, and it's just been taking up space on my craft desk, which is behind me, and, yeah, it seemed like today was a good day to just handle that and take care of it, and then put it away. What do you think, buddy? Ugh. He's purring so much. Alright. It's mostly sewing, and it's not anything, like, intense. It's just one of those things where I was like, yeah, I'll do it another day. I haven't done it, so it's time to just take care of it. Okay. You need to get off my lap now, though. I will snuggle with you later, I promise. Okay. Let's start with something easy. These are my favorite linen overalls, and the last time I wore them, the button popped off of them. Buttons popping off of things are a common theme for me. So they just need a button on the inside, like that one. Okay. Let's see what we can do. I have my jar of buttons. Just need to find a similar size. Kind of want a 2-hole button too, just because that one's only a 2-hole button. And the fewer the buttonholes, the fewer stitches I have to do. Do I have any 2-hole buttons? These buttons are ancient. I got them at a church flea market, like when I was a teenager, and I've had them ever since, and I just kind of have kept them in the jar that I got them in as decoration. And occasionally I'll pull one out because I need it, and the rest of the time we've used them when we played Munchkin, because you need like counters. I've used them for counters for things, playing games, all kinds of stuff, so this button I guess would work. I don't know, I wanted something more substantial than that because I lost the button that goes on this. Real thin. I also have another one of smaller buttons, but I don't think there's any of this size. I guess maybe the pink one will work. Let's just do it. It's fine. Did I? No, I didn't even try to hide the fact that I was saying it. It's fine. Okay. Actually broke a tooth from holding a needle between my teeth too many times. Which apparently is a thing. Something about they used to be able to tell from people's skulls whether they were seamstresses because you get like just a little indent in your teeth from where you hold the needle between your teeth. Don't quote me on that. Pretty sure my wife told me that. So if she's wrong, yell at her. When I went to the dentist, they were like, not much we can do about that. I was like, cool. Love to see it. Did I do that too far over? I did a little too far over, didn't I? That was like way far. Yeah, it's fine. Make sure it's nice and reinforced. Easy peasy. That was actually the most recent thing that had been added to my mending pile. I can probably find that button then and put the correct button back on. For now, she works. Easy. Done. I love these. They're really comfortable. Okay. Next one's a little bit more difficult. I have another pair of overalls. Imagine that. So these had become my overalls that I was wearing, well, one of the pairs of overalls that I was wearing out to the garden. What's going on? They're a little bit more practical. I like them because they have like a utility pocket and like a cargo pocket. And they look cool, but they're like a teeny bit tight around the waist, and I had a button that like one of the actual buttons, there's like 3 buttons on the side. One of the actual buttons came off, and I had replaced it, and that came off, so it just needs some reinforcing. There is now a hole where there should be a button, so I'm gonna have to close up the hole and put another button on, but this one's visible, so it can't be too crazy. And I also want to make sure that it's like gonna be on there pretty strong. Could do like a one's a little too big. This one's too big too. It's not as big of a button as I think it is. Problem that I had before when I was trying to replace it. That'll do. Alright. Gotta close the hole up. So, I'm just gonna try to reinforce the area so that it's not just a gaping hole. Keep stabbing my finger. Am I losing straight? Not really. This new one doesn't sit right. Whatever. Yeah. There's a button. See how long that one holds. Hopefully longer than the last one. But works. For now. I need to sit differently. Ooh, my leg. I have one thing that I think I'm gonna save this for a sewing machine day. So I got these shorts at Old Navy, and I did not pay attention when I tried them on. They were already ripped. They were on clearance. They were like super on clearance, and they're just like light, flowy shorts. But the this side is connected. It has like, it's hard to see because it's black, but there's like a seam. And then this one is not. But that would, I don't want to do that. So I'll save this for the sewing machine because that'll be like 2 seconds on the sewing machine. Alright. So these pants, I made these. They're the Sew House 7 pants. I don't remember what they're called. So, hold on, I can literally look it up. I'm on my computer. Sew House 7 free range slacks. That's what they're called. Yeah, I just wanted some like light pants, and I had made these, and I liked them a lot, but while we were moving, I was wearing them, and I ripped a hole. It's right over a pocket, so it's not that big of a deal, but I just need to like do something about that. It was actually on this bookshelf when we first moved in, so I'm in the basement, and I have my little enclosure. You can kind of see here. This is like bookshelves, and then there's a mirror behind it. I am like partially enclosed in by bookshelves, so like I get a portion of the finished basement as my little craft office and office where I work because I work from home. But we have all of our bookshelves down here, and they were all laying on their sides, and one of them had like a nail sticking out of the back, and I just ran right into it. So that's how that happened. I would like to make these pants again too with more sturdy fabric, because this is like a cotton gauze, and while it is pretty, it is clearly not very durable. I do not expect these to last very long. So I would like to make it out of, you know what, I'm honestly worried. I used to have some of the leftover fabric somewhere. This one might be a weight too, because I think I might, because there's like, I didn't realize there's like a hole. Like I knew that there was this little flappy. I didn't realize that there's like a hole in the second layer of the fabric. There, you can see it there. I think this would be better with a patch, because otherwise it's just gonna rip again. And I actually, hold on, I had a thought. I'm trying to learn how to mend things better, because part of my problem is I do tend to just like break something and then not fix it and just get a new one. But there's nothing wrong with this stuff. It's easy to fix, so might as well learn how to do it. But I'm really interested in visible mending, and I have a book. I wonder, yes, this is a really long headset cord. So I got this book a while ago. I haven't used it yet. It's called Mystical Stitches, and it's like spells, like embroidery spells, so you can put like sigils and spells into your clothing. First of all, look how beautiful it is, but then the inside of the cover looks like the wrong side of fabric. Love that. So yeah, and there's just like, there's some sections that are just like different things that you can do and their meaning. I really want to dive into it more. But I was thinking of like making a patch to put on it that has a spell embroidered on it, because these are like comfy at home pants. I think that would be kind of cool. So yeah, I might have to delve into that a little more. Oh, I love this so much. I'm so glad I got this. But it's one of those things where I'm like, this is a lot. I really want to do all this, but this is a lot. I have so many projects. I made a new spreadsheet. Okay, I have another thing that I need to mend. Let's do that before we start rambling. So, the last thing that I need to mend are some socks. So I need to find... Let me show you them first. This is one of the first pairs of socks that I ever knit. And it's in yarn from... I'm having a brain fart. New York. Catskill Merino. And my wife bought me this yarn on one of our trips to New York City, and I made myself this pair of little shorty socks with them. And I have some of it in my northeasterly blanket. And I've already patched the one heel, and now this heel has gone out. So I need to make a little patchy poo for these, because I have a lot of knitted socks, but I wore these a lot, and unfortunately in our last apartment I snagged them on like a, what is it called, the little bit between rooms, so that kind of stunk. Brain fart. Having a brain fart. Anyway, yeah, I snagged it. Now there's a hole here, so I need to mend it. So I should mend it. So I technically have yarn from Catskill Merino that I got this past year, and it's like, it's a different purple, but it's still similar, but I don't feel like balling this up just so that I can take a little bit of it to mend something. So I might just not worry about it matching that much. It's on the heel of my foot, and I pretty much only wear these inside. The yarn's super cozy, which is great, but they're too thick for me to wear with shoes, so I honestly just wear them at home. It's kind of like slipper socks. So I brought over my whole collection of scrap yarn, which at this point I still have this guy. I don't know. I have this like slightly thicker yarn that I bought. Maybe that. I'm gonna put that to the side. Maybe that, or this. Anyway, so I have little balls in here, and then I also have this whole bag still full of yarn scraps. So I'm still working on my northeasterly. This could also work. Maybe, I think maybe this one. I need to untangle this because there is a massive this. So, I don't know, maybe I'll start working on that after this. That's an idea. I have a while that I need to kill until my wife is off work, until I have someone to entertain me. Ooh, here's a purple. Yeah, let's do that. Let's untangle this. Because I'm working on scrap blanket type stuff. this year, and it would be nice to be able to actually access all of that yarn. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this purple yarn that I just found. I'm going to do a quick little darn. I don't have like any of the fancy equipment. I just kind of like wing it. I get, you know, I know the concept. It doesn't need to be perfect. I'm not a professional. I'm just doing this for myself, you know? You know? This should work. It would be good to have these sucked, but no. Because I missed them. So anyway, I've been working on my northeasterly. It's just awkward to get there. This direction makes no sense. Working on my northeasterly. I have a lot of projects that I want to get done this year. But I'm also like not gonna be too hard on myself about it. I think the only project that I seriously do want to finish this year is Northeasterly. I really wanted to finish it last year. I started knitting that blanket in 2019. I was like, I'll finish it by the time I'm 30. And then I just like didn't work on it that much last year. If I had worked on it more steadily, I would have finished it last year, but I don't know, other things held my attention. It was a very long year. I'm very glad to be in the new year. But that's been my focus recently is trying to finish projects like that are like bigger projects that I've either been working on for a while or holding on to the materials for to start. It's really what I want to do this year is like actually make all these things. So maybe, why don't I, this has been a very short stream so far, so while we're here, let me just show you some stuff. Kind of like the old days with the podcast, except not really, because I don't know. I like doing the podcast. I really enjoy sharing my stuff, but honestly, my mental health was kind of crap last year for various reasons, and editing takes a lot of time, and I just did not have it in me to edit those videos regularly. I would like to get back into making videos again this year, just maybe not as intensely trying to like have a set schedule. I'd rather do streams like this. This is easy, like I can just, you know, hop on and hang out, but yeah, editing videos is it takes a lot of time. This is a bad patch job. I think it's because it was a bigger hole. That's okay. It's just for me. I'm gonna keep going. I probably should get like a darning egg. Yeah, that's a messy ass patch. Oh my gosh. What a disaster. It's okay. Just keep making it worse. I think I just need to be done. There's no hole there anymore, it just doesn't look nice. It's okay. I'm just gonna wear through it again anyway. That I need to work on, is learning how to darn better. Be a better darner. Okay. So, I have a stash spreadsheet again this year, and I did a pretty good job of getting rid of stash last year, but I did replace it. But when I was replacing it, I was trying to be more mindful of like what things I actually want to make, and more specifically, things I actually want to wear. That was a huge problem that I had for a while, is that I would almost every single time go for getting materials. I'm gonna turn this music off, because like, or at least way lower. It's distracting me. Real quiet. Okay. Yeah, I was almost always like more so buying craft materials that I thought were cool. Like I would buy yarn that I thought was really pretty, and not necessarily yarn that I would make into a product that I would actually wear. And I still have some yarn here that I think I probably wouldn't wear it. In the past, like I want to say like year, maybe year and a half, I have realized that I mostly like to wear black. That my teenage self was correct. So as you can see, black, dark, like jewel tones maybe. I don't know. Mostly black with like an accent color is kind of what I wear all the time. And yeah, so the bright, fun colored yarn doesn't necessarily work with that. So yeah. So I did get rid of some stash, and then I'm just trying to be mindful of that when I buy stuff and when I buy fabric. So in December, I went on a trip up to Rhode Island. So I'm 30 now. I turned 30 in December. So yeah, we did a little trip up to Rhode Island for my birthday, and we stopped in Connecticut at Affordable Fabrics, which if you don't know, it's full of affordable fabrics. And I got a bunch of projects, sewing projects there. So, but I was very mindful of getting like gray, black, green type fabric so that I would actually wear it. Oops, kicked my desk. Sorry, I'm putting stuff away. And then, yeah, just yarn wise, I have destashed. I have just reconfigured everything so that it is more what I would like to have. It's not perfect. I think I decided that I like colorful socks. Like, I've gotten colorful striped yarn, like sock yarn, because that's fine. Like, colorful socks are fun. I'll wear those anytime. But, like, I'm not gonna wear a rainbow sweater. Just I started knitting a sweater, and as I was knitting it, my wife was like, "Would you wear that?" And I was like, "Fuck, you're right." So, yeah. So I have a spreadsheet. Let me see if I can pull it up. I can just like show it to you. Once again, I'm still getting used to like OBS and like having this all set up. There's some like really stupid notes on this though, so don't mind my stupid notes. for better success than it previously has, because I also like have all these other projects that I have written in there, so that I can easily jump in there and say, okay, this is what I'm going to work on today. So yeah, yarn stash is here, fabric stash, hand spun yarn, and then on the bottom is behind this pile of books is my fiber. This pile of books is my current TBR, and there's also TBR upstairs. I also gave myself a goal of reading 52 books this year, so 1 book a week. We'll see how I do. I read 30, less than 40, so like 38 books last year, so I think I can make it. I think I can make it. But we'll see. I've read 2 this year so far, which is like on track. Oh, you know what? I need to cancel my doctor's appointment. Yeah, let's do that. I'm just gonna like casually cancel my doctor's appointment. I just looked at my notifications. Was like, wow, because I was gonna look at my story graph. Highly recommend if you are still using Goodreads. Why? No, but really, Storygraph is the way to go. Reschedule or cancel. Cancel appointment. Yeah, Storygraph is the way to go. I've been using it for a couple years now, and it's nice. You can do like reading challenges and stuff. What am I reading right now? I'm reading Lunar Love. Nope, currently reading. Yeah, so like I can keep track. There's my currently reading, things I've read recently, and then my reading goal for 2023. I don't know if this is gonna. There we go. 52 books. Right on track. You know, I will. Is there a way to change? I'm gonna put some links. If I can figure out how to do it. I don't know. Can you change streams while you're streaming? Content. Live. Edit. Maybe I'll start putting links in my description again. Instagram. I'm still woolen time. I do have ooh, I need to do my seed swap. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. I'm having one of those days where like I'm remembering all of the things that I was like, I'll do another day. You know, do you ever have those days? So, wool and time. That's me. I'll probably start posting on there again soon. I was on my like, I don't know why, but I was like, I'm gonna do my like normal Instagram from like before I started knitting and having a separate knitting Instagram. But why? The only people that follow me there are like people that I went to high school with who I don't talk to anymore. So like, well, what am I trying to show them? I'm still alive. Anyway, story graph. Can you do a link? Why is my keyboard not working? Maybe I do need to get one. I was like, oh, I'll just wait. It's like, I'll just wait to get a new keyboard until this one doesn't work, but it is already sort of not working. Here it is. Okay. Storygraph.com. app.storygraph.thestorygraph.com/profile/time. I'm going to add it to the description if you want to follow me on Storygraph. Be my friend. We can do reading challenges. I want more friends on there. But yeah, so I've been doing it since 2021, and you can do a yearly reading goal. Highly recommend. And it's not Goodreads, so it's not owned by Amazon. What else? Oh, so yeah, I've been trying to read more. So I have my TBR. I got a lot of these books either for Christmas or just I bought them around Christmas. As if I didn't have plenty of books to read in this house already. Like I said, this basement is like wall to wall covered in bookshelves except for my little corner. It's all bookshelves. There's plenty of books. And not only do we have books that I have bought in previous years here, but our roommate has books too that I have not read that I want to read. So like the book situation is that they're playing. That's why I was like, I think I need to read 52 books this year so that I can like make a dent. I am definitely having that January thing of like wanting to do everything. You know, when you have that January feeling of like, I'm going to do all these things different than I did the previous year. I don't know. Slow progress has happened in actually making a dent in some of this stuff. But back to reading. I was like, oh, I want to try some subscription boxes. So I started getting a couple different ones. I started getting Bone Box, which I can't reach any of my bones right now because I have most of them up there. Bone Box, you get bones. There's some bones right here. Here. There's some bones here. There's also a bat here. That's a real bat. I got into weird stuff. There's also bones up here, and there's bones where you can't see them up here. I'm into bones now. It all started with this cat skull. I found this on the side of the road. I have a bird skull in my garage. I like bones. And teeth and bones. When I say I've gotten a lot weirder, I mean I've gotten a lot weirder. Yeah, so it's like subscription boxes. So I get Bone Box now, which is a monthly bone subscription. It's only $25, and you get usually. So far, I've gotten skulls. I got like a turtle skull, which is super cool. You get a skull, and you get like another thing. I think I got a badger claw. They're all ethically sourced and like really good quality. So I get bones every month. And then I was like, okay, I want to try some of those. I'll put that link in the description too, in case you're interested. I was like, I want to try some of the book boxes. So I had signed up for the why is my brain not working? Can you refer people for Bone Box? Let's see. Sorry, brain fart. Skulls Unlimited. I had signed up for the Illumicrate waitlist and was like still kind of considering wanting to do that. But I had kind of put it off, and then finally got the email. Oh, they opened up signups, and I was like, oh, sick. I want to do that. So I signed up for it, and what I found out later is the reason why they had opened up. Why can't I remember my password? The reason why they had opened up signups was because they opened a like US distribution center. Um, which is great and all, except uh I don't know if you know this about when stuff like that happens, but a lot of times people don't actually take the time to make sure that they think about timing of things. Sorry, I need to like actually talk and stop like trying to type and talk at the same time. But you know, when something new is happening and they're like everything's going to be fine and normal, and then they decide to start something new around the holidays and things are not normal around the holidays, especially when it comes to shipping. So I paid for both November and December of Illumicrate, and I have yet to receive any Illumicrate. If you've noticed, it's January now, so I've canceled Illumicrate and I am waiting for them to send me my boxes, and I will not be resubscribing to Illumicrate. Their consolation prize for that is that they gave us 10% off. Like, they refunded us 10% of November. I'm good. I'm good. But the one that I do like that I started getting is Book of the Month, which I fell for the marketing for sure. Someone was like, "You can get your first month for $5," and I was like, "I can get a book for $5." And they had a book that I was interested in, so I did it. Let me go in. So, yeah, that's where the book that I'm currently reading came from. It's Book of the Month. And it's like, normal months are like $16. So, I'm gonna put that. This one is a referral code. I don't even know what happens if you use mine, but like, whatever. I'll put it in if anyone is interested in trying it. Oh, I get a book credit. So, yeah, why not? If you want to try Book of the Month, there's a link in the description. Yeah. I like it so far. So I got 2 books. The first one that I got was Kiss Her Once for Me, which I read in December. It was pretty good. It was like, you know, romance, queer romance. I had some issues with it, but it wasn't like horrible. I read worse books. Yeah. And then Lunar Love I'm reading right now. It's another, you know, romance. I've been into romance recently because I read one, what is it called? Why can't I remember what it's called now? One Last Stop. I was like, hold on a second. I want to read more stuff about people being in love. So, it's cool, and you can add additional books to your box if you are interested, um, which is kind of nice. I think you can add up to 3, something like that. Pretty cool. But yeah, I'm just trying to read more to help my big brain. So, as for things, I'm going to start untangling yarn and just kind of babble about stuff that happened last year. In case you're interested in my life for some reason. So, Yeah, I disappeared. Kind of disappeared. What was my last video? My last actual uploaded video was about gardening in.
Hey guys, I'm
Ooh,
so excited.
that's not my video. Wait, when was this uploaded? If I go into YouTube Studio, I can find out. Because it just says 8 months ago. Content. April. My last knitting vlog was March 31st. Holy cannoli. Crazy. So what happened? So I had bought a new camera and I was like super, super excited about having like a nice camera to film videos with, and then immediately lost interest in filming videos. The yarn just broke. Cool. This is what happens. Um, it wasn't for any like specific reason. It was just my priorities kind of changed. So I wanted to be a writer for a while, and in April I found my writing mojo again, which like I've written NaNoWriMo books, but I hadn't like seriously written anything, like actually took my time and wrote something I wanted to write, not just like speed writing. Like since I was a child, pretty much. Like I've just not really taken my writing seriously. Um, I got my writing mojo back and really wanted to focus on that last year, so I kind of just dropped everything. I was writing every day for a while. I wrote, I wanted to say like 75% of a fantasy novel, and it's like a trilogy. Like I planned out a trilogy, and then I also just stopped that at the end of last year and decided I needed to put it on the back burner. The thing about getting back into writing is it's a skill that you need to cultivate. So if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Yeah, that yarn's also broken. Um, and I think what I was finding is like fantasy requires a lot. Like fantasy requires a lot of planning, and it requires a lot of keeping track of rules that you make up. And I just didn't feel like my writing skills were at the point that I could really execute my vision. So what I wrote, it's not like there's anything wrong with what I wrote already, but I just feel like it needs more time. Um, and I need more time to hone my craft before I write that story. So I have like fragments of other stories. I have so many notes, and I really want to like get in this year. And I like my writing goal for this year is to get one done. So I'm thinking I might have some like co-working type streams this year where, you know, I'm just gonna sit on stream with some chill music, focus on writing, do some writing sprints. So if anyone's interested in that, for sure, let me know. Um, Maybe I'll see if I can like schedule a regular time to do that. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what happened. Is my priorities changed, and then the other big thing that happened is I moved. So as I was talking about, we moved to this house with our friend. Um, so our rent went up. We got a letter that our rent was going up like $250, and we were already kind of paying a lot for the place that we were at. So I was not jazzed because where we're at right now, my wife is about to go into student teaching, and that means we'll be down to one income for a little while, which is fine because that's important that she has time to finish her degree. But like, money was already going to be kind of tight, and then the idea of our rent going up $250, and then who knows how much it would have gone up this year was like crazy. So it just so happened that at the same time, friend was buying a house. We talked about it. We're like, hey, we're gonna live together for a few years. You know, save some money. Good deal. So that's where we're at. It's really nice. It's nice to have room. I still have like my little area. This is nice. It's like a little office. Got my space. I'm a weird little hermit in the basement now because I come down here and write and just kind of hang out. But I also work down here, so I'm in the basement all the time. I don't mind it, but I do make an effort to like leave so that I see the sun, because I live in the basement. Yeah, it's nice. It's been good. Um, but that happened, so we were moving. And what happened when we moved is, it was in July. We went on vacation. We came back and needed to pack. I got COVID right as we were about to move. Thanks, New Jersey. um, so had to deal with that. I was better by the time we moved. And then the garden was already kind of rough at that point, and I just kind of was like, I called it a wash. It was a wash. There was no way I was going to be able to recover from that. I had already kind of let it go a little bit before we moved because I was trying to pack. But after we moved, I just completely was sucked into trying to make sure we could settle in here. So I did not pay enough attention to the garden, and I pretty much just stopped going. I went and cleaned it up at the end of the year, and that's it. I'm not going back to the community garden this year. I would like to make gardening videos this year because we have a backyard here, and my roommate is interested in gardening. Our friend who we live with is interested in gardening. So I told him that I would help him establish a garden back there. But it's going to be a process to get it set up and everything. So I think it would be interesting to document that, the building of a home garden. I'm honestly being pretty rough with this. I'm okay with losing some of this yarn to stuffing because it's just too much. Too tangled. Yeah, so I talked to him last week. We figured out the plan for like what we're gonna do in the backyard, and then I think next month we're gonna try to build some garden beds and get some of the setup done so that in March we can start planning cold season stuff, which will be nice. So, yeah. I'm excited to explore backyard gardening again. It'll be nice. I think it'll be nice to see how well, I'll have help, because he is interested in gardening too. So we'll be a little more teamwork, but how well we can keep a garden going with being multiple people, and also like it's right there. So it's not like with the community garden where I had to drive, which requires me getting dressed to go to the dusty garden and prepping everything. Now it will be right outside, so I'm hoping that means it'll make it a lot easier for upkeep to be able to just walk outside on my lunch break to water things or something. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I have my seeds right here because the other day I needed a break from work and I started kind of looking at what I have. There's a seed store near me that I like to go to every year, and they have like their season kickoff in the end of February, I think it is. So I'm kind of trying to make a list to see what I might need to get so that I can be ready for that. Guys, this hunk of yarn is bad. That's why I'm like, it's okay if it's a wash. It would take me ages to untangle this, and I would rather just add it to my stuffing jar. But yeah, so I mean, I have a lot of seeds, so I don't think I need to get a lot. And I started kind of like putting a limit on um, what I buy as seeds, because I don't. There's certain things that, like, as a home gardener, it doesn't make sense for me to buy seeds, especially because I have access to a lot of greenhouses in the area that I live in. So like for tomatoes, for me, even though there's a lot of seeds in that packet and I'm never going to use all the seeds, I'm okay with that because I like to grow cool varieties of tomatoes. So that's an example of something that I will still buy seeds when, my stash dwindles. Even I still end up buying some tomato plants from greenhouses, but I like to be able to have like really interesting varieties. Like, for example, I have one called the Dark Galaxy tomato. That's not something that I can buy a tomato plant of. Same with peppers. Like, there's certain pepper varieties that I got seeds for online that are like heirloom, super funky ones that I just wouldn't be able to get something equivalent at a greenhouse. So those, yeah, I'll keep buying those kind of seeds. But like regular tomatoes, like I don't need to buy mortgage lifter seeds anymore because I know that I can get a mortgage lifter plant, and it just makes more sense for me to buy one plant rather than a whole bag of seeds. I'll always buy like beans because like bean plants aren't transplanted well, so but I don't need to buy regular peppers. I don't need to buy herbs either because I always just buy herb plants. I don't want to start those from seeds. You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of what I've been evaluating as I'm going through my seed stash. Like, I have a huge, huge thing full of herb seeds that I don't use because I always just buy a plant. I just need like one plant. I don't need 200 lavender plants, you know? Um, yeah, so that's just kind of where my mind's at when I'm looking at seeds. Even like cucumbers, I feel like I don't need to really buy unless there's like a certain kind. Like there's some white cucumbers that I've started liking, so maybe I'll buy a packet of those. But I don't need to buy regular cucumber seeds because even though cucumbers don't transplant that well, I can still get that from a greenhouse and just deal with, struggling through the transplanting phase. So, yeah. Some of this yarn is old. Anyway, so I'm going to try to grow a good variety of stuff and see how much I can get in the space that I have. It's less space. Like, of course it's less space because I was growing in an 1800 by 1800 square foot space. But I think if I like maximize my planting strategy, I can get a decent amount out of the space that I have. So I kind of want to share that process because I think it's cool. It's exciting for me. And this is a lot of yarn. Woke up super early this morning because my roommate had a flight I offered to drive him so that he didn't have to pay to park his car, because we only live like 15 minutes from the airport. There was no point in him driving up himself. He's like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's just early. I can handle being up early." Oh, there's a knot. Trying to debate what I'm going to do with the rest of my day. Like I said, my wife only works until noon. She works like third-ish shift. She works late, but she'll be done at noon. Do we want to go somewhere? I don't even know like what's open, if anything's like closed today because it's Martin Luther King Day, or is it just like works and schools are closed? I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. It's a little ball. Ooh, this is sparkly. See, I didn't even know that some of this stuff was still in here because I couldn't see it. It'll be nice to start fresh here. So the north or easterly blanket, I still have a few columns. I'll show you once I'm done with this what it looks like now. I think I have, after the column that I'm working on now, I have like 4 more columns to knit, and then I'm done with it finally. 20 total columns. I made the black blanket size. But then my plan after that is I want to crochet a granny stripe blanket the size of my bed, because I've wanted to have like a hand knit blanket for our bed, or a hand crocheted blanket, I guess, for our bed. And I want to make sure I'm continually using up these scraps so that they're not just taking up space. Because that's how you end up with this. I keep dropping balls of yarn left and right. But yeah, that's how you end up with this. Oh no. This one fell. This one fell. And this one fell. Yeah, especially since I'm continually working through my stash, I want to make sure that I'm like not letting all of these scraps pile up. I mean, I like having scraps because I like making little scrappy projects, but I'm at the point where like a lot of these scraps just don't go together because I've changed my ideas about what I like knitting wise a lot. Like I said, about like buying yarn that I won't actually wear. Like, I think this was from a swap, but like neon. I don't wear neon. It's been a long time since I wore neon. It's all good though. You live, you learn. Start cutting these off. There's some that I was kind of holding close. I also think I'm gonna have to upgrade my quart jar. So I haven't done the ornament thing that I normally do in December for a couple years. I didn't do it last year. I don't think I did the year before either. I don't remember. But that has meant that, yeah, I think it's been 2 years since I've done it. That has meant that my scraps, which I usually save for that, have gotten a little out of hand. They're really jammed in there. And since this is going to the scrap pile, I might have to just empty this big jar out and turn it into my New word jar. Just put all these little balls in here. Hold on. Is that everybody? That's everybody. Okay. Just. My cat finally fell asleep and I don't know where he went. I'm assuming. So I got one of those big, like as if everybody knows. Ollie's had big beanbag chairs that look like Pokeballs. Got it for myself so that I could like sit in there and read it in it. But my cat likes it a lot. So he kind of naps in it throughout the day. Alright. So we're eliminating this big ball of scraps of stuff that just was so tangled. Nice. Okay. Now we can fill it back up. And I'll actually be able to access all my scraps and they won't be in a big knot. Productive. Being productive on my day off. That's something I've had to work on too. While this is productive, it's still kind of relaxing, you know? There you go. Look. Useful. Not a huge mess anymore. I've had to work on like not feeling like I constantly have to be productive. Like it's I got in that headspace for a while where like, especially once I was done with school, where I was like, I'm done with work. I need to, you know, knit something, or I need to be cleaning, or, you know, whatever number of like things that my brain deemed productive. And you know what? You don't have to be productive. I started playing video games again. That's why I got this computer, so that I could play video games on my computer. It's okay to just relax and read. Alright, northeasterly. So I've been working on this the past few days. Oh, there's yarn in. I got tired. So for a while, I was carrying this thing around, jammed in the top of this bag, which was fine when it was little, and I didn't have as many yarn scraps either, but now it has outgrown this bag. This is a whole blanket. So I have filled my yarn bowl up with a couple little scrappies, and like I'll take this upstairs when we're, you know, watching TV at night. Let me set this here, because I keep losing knitting needles. So this is my northeasterly, as it is now. Humongo. Come on. Ah, I stepped on my cord. In all its glory. It's getting there. It's really getting there. Totally lovely, totally chaotic. I love it. So that's been a labor of love. I made a mess. So anyway, there she is. I remember when she was still shawl-sized. Yeah, I've been enjoying. I put a little stitch marker here. It's a bubble tea. Put a little stitch marker here just to keep track of like how far I've gotten. In a week. So yeah, yesterday I was sitting and knitting. And yeah, let me count. So I'm supposed to have 20 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, so once I finish this one, I still have 4 more to do, and then I'm done. And then on to the next thing. So that's my main focus right now. I have so many things that I'm working on concurrently, though. Yeah, I got a little cast on Project Start Happy last year, and now I'm living with the consequences of that. I think I am going to empty this jar out and put scraps in it, and then maybe I will actually start this year making ornaments again for Christmas, or candle nights as I call it, if you're a McElroy fan. Oh my god, I'm dropping yarn everywhere. Where did it go? Oh. Yeah. Let's get all this yarn out of here. Okay. It's a good start. I'll show you my other one. See if I can get it without disconnecting my headset. Sure can. So this is my other one, which is completely jam-packed full. There's like fiber, yarn, thread, all kinds of stuff in there. So yeah, it was time. So my most recent cross stitch that I started even though I didn't need to start anything else was this skeleton lady. I'm excited about it, but then I stopped because of the holidays, so it's just on a pile. I have a bunch of cross stitches over here. This is the one that I started for my dad before Christmas, and then I was like, there's no way in hell that I'll be able to finish this before Christmas. It's this big. I've got my Halloween cross stitch that I never finished. Lordy. I have a ton of yarn that I have in balls that I was going to work on projects with, and then never started them. So I'm going to work on all that stuff that I have started first before I start caking up any of the stuff that's in here, or even spinning. I don't think I'm going to do any spinning until I've finished other things. So I might just do streams like this occasionally where I just kind of like hang out and make stuff, just as a kind of accountability thing. Just hang out with some music, make some stuff happen. I don't know. Getting back in the swing of things. I also got myself a bullet journal, which I have done nothing with. I made a 2023 page, and I made a January page. I really want to get into bullet journaling, but now I'm like in this space where I'm like, I'm afraid to mess it up. Who the fuck cares? It's doodles. So I guess I'll maybe work on that this week, because I want to do like, you know, the people that have like the bookshelves and they write the names of the books as they finish them. I want to do that. And I like doodling. So, yeah. I have a lot of hobbies. One of the other fun things about moving to this house is we have a fire pit now. Although, the next time that we have a fire pit, I need to not get hoisted, because I was supposed to be in charge of the fire pit, and I had a little too much to drink, and then I just forgot. There were other people watching it, so don't worry, but like, yeah, I got distracted and was talking to my friend, and they were like, you wanna come hang out by the fire that you wanted to start? Yeah. Back in therapy again. Good shit. I don't know. I don't know. I finished the mending then faster than I thought I was going to. That was my only plan for today. So I don't know. I might go watch some stuff and knit until my wife is done. Maybe I'll be back on and play later. Can't decide what to play though. I could keep playing Among Trees, which I am enjoying. Or I don't know. Maybe Coral Island or something else. Pretty happy with my... Wait, look at this. I did that in Canva. Getting the joy back in creativity. Having fun with it. Alrighty then. I'm gonna end the stream for today. But I will see you guys soon. Maybe as soon as later today. It just depends. It's gonna be interesting this week. Alright. Bye.